Good afternoon, YouTube. Well, this is my first YouTube live that we've done. Sunday afternoon, Ask Me Anything. Car related, obviously. So, I don't know, there's nobody in here yet. So we've just had, we had a very interesting day. We set the WPS up and we started doing some pressure transducer work, just the very basic, just for a few people, and yeah, it was all right. We got bothered by helicopters, we got bothered by neighbours, we got bothered by dogs, we got bothered by mothers bringing sandwiches out. But all in all, nice relaxing way to spend a day. I'm a bit exhausted now, but yeah, so I'm just kicking back in my recliner, gonna roll a cigarette and wait for a few people to jump in, and let's get a conversation started. I can't see, I don't know, how do you get chat up in here? Let's have a look. No, I don't know how to get chat up. Can it, there's a chat button. Show chat, that'll do. Show live chat. There's 3 people in here now watching. We'll share it. Share it on Twitter. Right, so we've shared that on Twitter. I didn't announce that I'd be doing this. So we'll see what happens. I think there's only me watching myself at the minute. No, there's nobody. Nobody want to ask any questions? Hey Keith, how are you, mate? This is my first YouTube live. Yeah. First YouTube live experience. It's a bit different than Facebook. You've got to wait for people to actually come in. But yeah, like I've just been saying, we've had a good day with the WPS. I've lost all my custom probes from my WPS, so I've only got bar probes at the minute. So I'm going to have to get me get the hump for some custom probes, inches of mercury and PSI and stuff like that. So, what are you doing this afternoon? Is it this afternoon where you are? It's 4:15 here. All right, food shopping. Oh, lucky you. Oh dear. Food shopping? No, thank you. I'd rather be fixing cars. Would rather be fixing cars. I was when I was filming before. It's quite difficult to film and keep a train of thought going. And I was talking to Paul the other day on Facebook, and I said, "You've probably got it right. You know, the short 10-minute YouTube live videos. Well, you've seen what something is. You can go and you give a nice concise presentation and that, and there's not really a lot of editing and that goes into it. It's I'm finding this whole YouTube thing, it's a lot more work for a 10-minute video. You've probably got 2-3 hours filming and another 2-3-4 hours editing, and whereas you can just go live and just fly by the seat of your pants, so to speak. So I'm not sure quite which direction I'm going to take my channel in yet at the minute, but we're doing well for subscribers. We're doing really well for subscribers. I think we've got 150 subscribers, something like that now, in just over a week, so I'm quite pleased with that. I've got microphone, wireless microphone on order now, so hopefully the audio will be a bit better and the engine noise won't be as intrusive on the videos. But yeah, You just got sound on that. So we've been talking for 10 minutes, talking for 10 minutes, and nobody can hear me. Brilliant. We like that. Yeah, we like that. Oh dear. Mm. Right. So basically, I was saying. We were talking about the about YouTube and doing the filming and the editing and all that sort of thing, and it's I'm finding it quite involved and quite difficult to maintain a train of thought and to communicate what I'm thinking correctly without getting muddled up. Camera position, lighting, and all that. And I think you've probably got it the right way, where you just go live, you show what you've got to show, and then you go off. There's not really a lot of editing to do with it, or preparation or anything like that. People tend to forgive a bit of yeah, it is involved. A bit of, they give you a bit of leeway as regards sound quality and picture quality and that. Whereas if you're actually filming with a tripod and microphones and all that sort of thing, people want it nice and well presented, and that, and when really all we want to do is diagnose the car and move on to the next one. But I don't know whether it's easy, because I mean the way you do it's not easy, because you've still got to get over what you want to get over within that short period of time, and do the job and get paid for it, and not give too many trade secrets away, and not upset your customers or your customers' customers. So I think really, like you, Paul, Eric, Ivan, and now I've just started out. We tend to really we're putting a target on ourselves, and we're standing there waiting for people to throw eggs at us to some extent. So I don't think it's an easy. It's definitely not an easy option. The easy option is not to do anything. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, you're very right, Keith. Let them complain. Yeah. So, and also I think I'm coming just at the right time. There seems to be a bit of a void, especially in UK and Europe, of people that are doing diagnostics relevant to the Europe, the European stuff, the stuff that we see on a daily basis. Obviously you guys, you know your market and your vehicles, and over here we know our, we've got our strengths, and we know our marks. But there's nobody really in Europe. There's nobody really doing YouTube. There's nobody doing live videos. So it's yeah, it's I'm coming in at the right time, I think. Getting, what this trade's like. It takes its toll on your body. You can't do what you used to be able to do. Certainly the days of lying on my back throwing gearboxes and clutches in they've long gone. I'm hard pressed to put a set of brake pads in these days, if I'm really honest. Yeah, we're pioneering it really. There's a few that have tried. There have, I mean, we've got some excellent trainers over here, and we've got some excellent people that do technical presentations, but there's nobody really that's doing it on the floor at grassroots level, that's willing to share the tips and the tricks, that make the job easier, but that also give better service for the customers, and present the trade in a better light, the profession in a better view for for general public. So yeah, hopefully it'll take off, and I'll get used to filming, and the more technical aspects of it, I'll get better at it, and stop erming and filling and erming and ahring and all that. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Mechanical work can be very boring. The garages I go into now, and I'm looking at people, and they're doing brakes, clutches. Although you won't, over there, most of your vehicles are automatic, so you won't be doing so many clutches. But over there, everything's, as you'd call it, stick shift or manual gearbox. Um, so there's a lot of clutch work, a lot of brake work, timing belts and stuff like that. And I couldn't do it if that's what I had to do every day. I don't think I'd still be in this profession. I like the challenge of diagnostics. I like not knowing everything. I like being pushed and being forced to learn about systems and the variations and how different manufacturers do it. The CLK, prime example. Never ever seen never seen Rob from One Auto. I don't think I've come across him. I'll look at is he on YouTube, Keith? There's a bit of a delay. Right, okay. I'll look out. I'll look out. Mark from One Auto. I'll have a Google of that and see if we can find him. Yeah. So, I like the challenge. I enjoy it. I enjoy fixing stuff that that other people have tried and failed. Don't get me wrong. I don't get everything right. We all have our challenges. We all have our failures. We all have the jobs that we just walk away from. Yeah, I do. I really enjoy the learning. Um, I like having to go and buy time on the portal and and research and that. It's and then forearmed is forewarned is forearmed or whatever they say. Whatever it is, you go in and you get stuck in. All right, he's a great friend of yours, is he? Right? So is he in the US? There's quite a delay. Pico. Pico is the future. Yeah, it's the Pico hasn't got a rival. There's no rival in the automotive world for Pico scope. The only downside to it is it's not handheld. It's not self-contained. Um, quick for doing quick looks and quick checks and that. I do like the snap on. It's there. Don't you can get it down in a footwell. Um, I just have a quick look at a signal. You can, it's just easy to swap in between the two. Whereas with the Pico, you've got your Pico. Um, I don't know. I forgot what the question was now. To be honest, Keith. Um, yeah, the Pico. You've got to take better care of it. The BNC connectors are a bit vulnerable. The leads are expensive. You've got a laptop, you've got the Pico, you've got all the trailing wires and all that, and it all brings danger. Whereas at least with the snap-on units, it's all there, all self-contained, and there's less risk, especially for mobile guys. When I was in a workshop, I had my Pico set up all the time on a boom. It was it was brilliant. Yeah, and it made everything easy. You just swing it over on the boom and that's it. Yeah, you could make it handheld. Just tape it to the back of the laptop. I could do that, but I think I'll keep it. I'll keep my Pico for when I really need detail. And when I need to look at something in depth. If I'm just looking to see whether a cam sensor's throwing a signal out or a crank sensor's a particular amplitude, quite happy to use the snap-on scopes for that. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm quite happy, quite happy with me with the snap-on stuff. But Pico, no rivals. There's no rivals whatsoever to it, unless you start looking at the Chevenano and stuff like that. But they're completely out of the budget range of most technicians. You know, if you look at the Arno amps clamp, the micro amps clamp, there's the cat. I bet there's only half a dozen technicians in the UK have got one. Hi Harry, how did I start in the trade? Well, that's a very good question. I'm actually a time served carpenter, believe it or not. Served an apprenticeship on the local authority. Got my trade as a carpenter. My father was a carpenter. Went out on site for a couple of years doing that, and then I decided that it was completely boring. So I went to college and I got all my City and Guilds, all the qualifications. I went full time at college and I got 6 years worth of qualifications. So the City and Guilds 381 craft certificate, advanced craft, did it all. And I got it all in about 6 months it took me. I took all the exams all at the same time. And once I'd got the paper qualifications, obviously then a young lad, I'd done my own clutches, done my own brakes on my cars for years, messed about with motorbikes. But I went working for a breakdown company, doing breakdowns basically on the M6, and this is late 80s, late 1980s. And when you're on the hard shoulder of a motorway, you learn very, very quickly what brakes, how volt drop testing, stuff like that, how to get stuff moving, because you don't want to be on the hard shoulder. And that's how I started doing motorway breakdowns. And then I went to a Renault main dealers, and they brought me through and factory trained me. Then they went into Nissan, so I went to Nissan, and then I decided to start my own business up. So I ran my own business for a few years, got myself a garage, and then 1999 I decided that I was bored again, and I closed the doors and I went off to Africa as a VSO volunteer teaching mechanics in Kenya. I was there for 2 years. Yeah, so I was teaching mechanics in Kenya for 2 years, and then I went and did the same thing as a VSO volunteer again, and I went to Eritrea. And while I was in Eritrea, I met some guys that were doing landmine clearance, and they had millions and millions and millions of dollars of equipment broken, laid broken down, nobody to fix it, nobody any idea. So I spent Christmas fixing all these broken down mine clearance vehicles, and all of a sudden a bit of a light bulb moment. Niche market, challenging, I enjoyed it. So I came back from Eritrea and I wrote off to every landmine organisation on the planet. Do you need a good field mechanic? I'm a good mechanic. And I got started. A guy in Namibia called Hendrik, and he wrote me an email and said, "Yeah, do you want to go to Rwanda?" So I said, "Yeah, okay." Anyway, he sent me tickets. I flew out to Namibia. Met him in Namibia. Met him, had a look, see what they did. Went over to their site of operations in Angola. Spent a few months in Angola, and then I was off to Rwanda as a technical advisor on remote control mechanised landmine clearance, funded by the US DOD and DOS. And basically then I went from there all over the place: Rwanda, Angola, 3 times in Angola, Iraq, where else did we go? Everywhere. Sudan, North and South Sudan. I was there for a while. You couldn't pay me enough money to go back there though. And then I came back here to the UK 2008. Found that I'd missed massively on I missed out on all the technological changes. So it was as though I'd never been in the trade. All the engine management and all that, everything had moved on massively while I'd been away. While I was messing about with remote control machines, the trade had moved on in the UK massively. So it was back to school basically. Started up my own business because obviously nobody'd employ me as a diagnostician, not knowing anything. So I started my own business, running around with the scanner, and I just pumped every hour that I possibly could into learning, training, grabbing known goods, re-equipping, familiarising myself with systems and building my systems knowledge up. And here I am today now. So it's been quite an interesting journey that I'm on. And now I suffer with the health now. I've got arthritis, definitely paying for past sins. I suffer with my health, so I can't do the mechanical stuff, but I can still do the diag, I can still do the electrics. I do a bit of training, a bit of teaching for garages in the area and that, people that want to develop their skills. And I'm looking now to basically share what I know with anybody who wants to listen. Yeah, you're right, Keith. It is less stress on the body. I think the only thing that does suffer is your hands. I mean, I don't know whether you can see, but mine are all twisted up. Well, if I've done a day ripping wiring looms apart and chasing corrosion and that, it takes its toll. But saying that, all the battery powered stuff now, we've not got big heavy tools that we have to. The snap-on cordless ratchets, the 3/8 cordless guns. It's been, yeah, you're right there. And share your experiences with people you'll never meet. Never say never. The world is a very, very small place, but well, that's what I believe anyway. So yeah, and I think the days of the one guy in the corner keeping all the knowledge to himself, I think those days have long gone. Yeah, pro grip. Yeah, I do. I do store known goods. Any time I'm working on a vehicle, if the sensor, if the sensors are readily accessible, I'll grab them. I'll grab as many known goods as I can. Yeah, Keith, you're right. Yeah, I mean you've met, obviously you meet a lot of people. Because most of the YouTubers are over there in the States, although the States is massive. Yeah, there's no real YouTubers in the UK, none that I've come across anyway. We've got a very, very good network of technicians over here. We're Diagnostics and that. We've got a very, very close network of people that write the articles for all the trade magazines and stuff like that. Got some really, really clever people far cleverer than me. So so they're not necessarily YouTubers, but they're quite famous within their own right, within the scope of UK Diagnostics. Yeah, we will. You're right there, Keith. I think the days of the mechanic per se are numbered now, because when we get the hybrids and EVs and that, I mean, this Priuses running around now that are 10 years old that have never had a set of brake pads, because obviously regenerative braking, they don't need brakes. No, not many YouTube mechanics on YouTube. That's right. I don't think I know any other UK YouTuber. Pro grip, working yourself hard to find time to capture images. It's not necessarily the images as well. I mean, if you've got your scope set up, you can, it's easy to grab any sensor on most cars and grab a known good. But the key is really is live data. If you're just looking at live data, grab a sample, like how many grams per second air is going through the MAF on this good car that you've just serviced. What's the injector duration on the car at 80 degrees Celsius. There's all sorts of stuff. Known goods. again, if you've got Pico, you've got the Pico waveform library, which is really, really, you know, it's full of known goods. The key is not to have your scopes put away in a box, being kept safe. Have them out ready so that if you get a car there, you've got an easy access to a crank sensor, you've got easy access to a cam sensor. Put it on, get a known good cam and crank. If you're doing the spark plugs, throw the WPS down the tube while you've got the spark plugs out, and just grab an in-cylinder capture, referenced with, you know, an ignition sync or something like that. I've done a video today, and we're talking about the slopes for the valve timing events and stuff like that. There's it's if you spent 5 minutes on every vehicle that you did and just grabbed known good live data, just the basics, air and fuel, stuff like that, voltages, you know, what voltage is your map sensor reading, what voltage is your map sensor reading, what's the fuel pressure, what do your air fuel sensors look like, as opposed to your post-cat sensors. 5 minutes doing that, save it, put it on a PC at home, take your machine home, download the files onto your PC at home and save it, and then look at them. And then once you've seen enough goods, you know what a bad one looks like. There's no point in, or you can't expect yourself to know what bad looks like until you know what good looks like. Fiat Multi-Air, oh yeah, they're nice, they are, aren't they? They really are. Oil grade is critical on them, and they don't like starting first thing in the morning. And if you've got to replace the multi-air unit, you have to use the special tool, otherwise you damage the vehicle. So, yeah, multi-air. Yeah, let's hope that doesn't catch on. That's like another tip and mess waiting to happen all over again. Yeah, Fiat multi-air. I did 3 months in a Fiat main dealer, and they did. There was Fiat, Alfa Romeo, Jeep, Subaru, Citroen, all in one dealer. Oh my God! No, 3 months, and that was enough for me. But yeah, it's right. It's the same sort of principle as your Power Strokes, isn't it? I think. But let's see, our diesels, yeah, Citroen. But I don't mind. I'm to be honest, I'm thinking about specialising in the French because so many people hate it, and I don't mind them. I don't mind them at all. It's just wires, isn't it? Wires and wiggly lines, whatever it is. It's a computer network with wheels. That's all it is. So I don't really mind. The only problem with the Citroens is the stripping down that you've got to do. You've got 2 hours of getting rid of plastics before you can get at the actual innards of the car. So yeah, you're right. There's you see in the French as well. You see Vauxhall over here, which is your GM. They've just been bought out by Peugeot Citroen. So we're going to be seeing the Peugeot Citroen engines in the Vauxhalls without doubt within a couple of years. So it's all going to be good fun. Well, we're up on 30 minutes now, so I'm going to grab a brew. That's it, just a machine. Well, I'm a little bit further away from you than that. For me, it's a network with wheels. That's all it is. It's just a LAN network with wheels. All right. So we're on 30 minutes. I'm going to make a brew. I'm going to get something to eat, and then I'm going to get stuck into this editing. So listen, thanks very much for joining in, Keith. Everybody else that's in chat, really appreciate it. It's a landmark occasion. This was the first ever Simply Diagnostics live YouTube event. I will. Catch you later, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks for joining in. See you later. Bye-bye. No, it won't be the last. It won't be the last. Bye-bye.